morning everybody, Calm Biker here. Ooh, a balloon. Balloon! What's that? Echo. Oh, hang on. Mrs. C had balloons yesterday for her birthday. Blooming things. Everyone keeps telling us, oh, they're last week's. That just means we're going to have balloons in our house for weeks. Helium-filled things. Helium's actually quite a scarce resource. We're using it to fill party balloons. Who knew? Anyway, I thought I would talk to you today about filtering. I watched the infamous Biker's video the other day on filtering. Should we filter? Where he was making his arguments for and against filtering. And I found it quite an interesting topic because I don't think people quite understand necessarily. Well, I mean, most probably don't, but some people don't quite understand the whole thing about filtering, the law and what have you. Because it is legal to filter in this country, but it isn't without its risks. Both physical risks to you, obviously. Cars aren't necessarily expecting you to come through and could close gaps, or can see you coming through and decide to close gaps because they're driven by plonkers sometimes, or psychopaths, depending on how you look at it. But there are ways that you can get yourself in trouble legally with filtering as well. So, this one don't want me to get past that. Always a van in it. And then you get a nice one to make up for it. Thank you very much. Legally, filtering is fine, and it's actually in the highway code that car drivers and truck drivers and all the rest should be aware of you filtering. And if they're going to do anything to change direction, they are supposed to look both ways and look in the direction they are changing direction in. And specifically it says look for bikes who may be filtering through traffic. And it doesn't say look for bikes who may be illegally filtering through traffic. It's look for bikes that may be filtering through traffic because they're allowed to. To be fair, it doesn't say because they're allowed to either. But you can be done. You can be fined and get points on your licence for careless. I think it's still called careless driving even though you're on a bike. If you're doing things that are potentially risky to yourself or to others. And there's a few that I see quite often on videos that I kind of cringe a bit when I see. One is this kind of thing. It's now stationary traffic. Now I think there's a sweet spot for filtering. And it's kind of 10-15 miles an hour traffic. Maybe a little bit slow. Moving, but moving slowly. If you're having to travel at 40 miles an hour to filter through traffic, then really you're going too quick for filtering in my opinion. Things can happen too fast at those kind of speeds that you've got no chance to react to. So it would seem to me that it's advisable not to filter at anything faster than about 30 really. And that's what I'm talking about, filtering between traffic like I've just been doing with traffic on both sides. But on the sweet spot side, there's also the thing of filtering through stationary traffic. Suddenly the dangers increase. Because you don't know if somebody is thinking, well, I might just jump out of the car. You know, a passenger might jump out. I've seen it quite often, they just swing a door open without looking. Passengers might not even be drivers, so might be completely unaware of the rules and the common sense approach of actually looking before you swing your door open. So it's something to keep an eye out for, that one. And also when it's stationary you can get people, and you see this really often on videos on YouTube, people who just run out between traffic because it's stationary. Think, oh, quick way of crossing the road. Everything's stopped, I'll just run across before it starts again. And those people, those pedestrians, are almost certainly not expecting a bike to be coming through. And if you hit a pedestrian, chances are that you will be 100% at fault. And you might end up, well, you might end up with a nasty bill. You might end up with an excess on your insurance policy. You might end up hurting or killing somebody and end up in prison. for something as silly as trying to get to work or get home a little bit quicker, rather than just going a few miles per hour slower, so that you can react to these things. There's another one that I suppose technically is overtaking, not filtering. When Kev was doing his video, a lot of it was overtaking rather than filtering, but that doesn't detract from the message. But where you've got cars that are stationary or moving very slowly and you're going down the right hand side, but you're on a road where, not like this one where we've got 2 lanes, but where there's 1 lane either way and no central reservation. And this is one that I didn't know about until recently, where I got picked up on it by my senior observer on the IAM. And that is the filtering, and I think Kev might have done it. I think you see it all the time, and I'm not going to claim innocent. If you look back at my videos, you'll see me doing it quite a lot. I'm trying not to do it anymore. Which is filtering down the right hand side and passing or overtaking down the right hand side, of course, passing traffic whilst a car is coming towards you. And you see it quite often. The car will move across either to be friendly and let you not have a head-on collision with him, or because he doesn't want a head-on collision because he doesn't want to smash his car up. But you can actually that is a traffic violation, I suppose is the way of putting it. You can actually get in trouble for that one. You can get 3 points, you can get £100 fine or more. That's the minimum, I believe, for that type of overtake. It's in the highway code bit as impeding or causing a car coming the other way to have to change course because of your actions. Can't remember the exact wording, as you've probably just gathered, but it is one to watch out for. So really, it's like overtaking. You wouldn't swing out to the other side of the road to overtake if there's a car coming. So it's that overtaking where you have to stay close to the car on your left because there's something coming the other way that can actually get you a careless driving or even a dangerous driving charge. That's one I found out about the other day, and one that Kev didn't mention, so it's worth a thought. Especially seeing as I said to him, I was said I'll be quite completely honest in my reply. I like filtering because I like getting to the front and I like getting home a bit quicker. And all this stuff about, it's safer to filter than not. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's safer. There are different risks, I would say. There's the argument that if you're filtering, you're not going to get rear-ended. But you could get crushed between 2 vehicles. So, I do know that in American states where you're allowed to filter, there are far fewer rear-end collisions with bikes. But they can be avoided in other ways as well. So, road position is a big thing. Anyway, that's a different topic. So here it is an example where I wouldn't filter, but I have seen people doing it. So they'll see a car and a lorry, or 2 lorries, driving at 60, and I've seen people filter up the middle of them. Terrifying. So that's my little response to Kev. I'd be interested to hear any of your thoughts as well, especially people who get out there and do videos and show off their filtering skills, filtering like a boss, but also thoughts on making sure filtering is safe. Anyway, I'll stop me rambling now. I'm on a fast road and I'm going to go a bit quicker, so thanks for watching. Ride safe everyone, and I'll talk to you all again soon.